Today I'm going to be going through rounding and significant figures for you, really straightforward. Imagine for a second you've got a number line, here is 0, here is 10, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. If you're rounding to 10, if the number is 5 or above, you're going to round up. So for example, if you had a number which was 3, then that's going to round down. So the 3 would be 0 because you're rounding it down. If you had a number that was 7, then that would round up to 10. That's if you're rounding to 10. If you're rounding to 100, the same principle applies, that instead of it being 5, it would be 50. It's your midpoint. So that's the way it works. Again, if you're rounding down, if you're using the numbers at the bottom, then the principle remains. If I'm rounding to the nearest 5 and I chose, let's say, -3, then -3 is nearer -5, therefore I would be rounding that to -5. So that's how you do rounding. You just look for the midpoint along what you're rounding and then either move it up or move it down. So 7 would be 10. If it was out of 100, you would have 70 would go to 100, for example, because it's the nearest 100. So do watch out what you're looking out for. Now, in terms of if you are looking for significant figures, so a significant figure is, let's say you've got a number that was like this, and you are asked to round it to the nearest significant figure. Well, the nearest significant figure would be the 3, because what happens is you ignore the zeros for the sake of argument. So you look for the first significant figure, which is a 3 in this case. And at that point, I would be rounding it between the 3 and the 5 now. So that would make this 4, because I'm going to be rounding it up. So I'd have 0.0004. And that would be my answer. Okay, so I'd look for my first figure, which is there, and then round it to the nearest significant figure, which would be a 4. And that's the way it would work. Now, if I had a number that was like that, 325,678, and I was rounding that to 2 significant figures, I would simply go, well, that because there's no zeros in the front, I'm going to look here, right? So my second significant figure is the 2, therefore I've got to look at the 5, and then I'm going to go, right, well, what significant figure with that? Well, 330,000 would be the answer if I was rounding that to 2 significant figures. And the same would work for 3, 4 or 5. You just look for the next number along and do exactly what we've just done. That's straightforward maths.